Hello boys and girls, welcome to another session of Dwarf Fortress, Histories of Avarice and Perseverance. We will play a new fortress. I gave up my last one because I did not like it. It was ill-designed. I have generated a new world and this is the world. You can't see it. I have it opened in Legends. This is the Legends viewer. So the map is like this. We have a continental landmass, North Pole, South Pole. There is this is the ratio of goblins to humans to dwarves, although this probably is the number of historical figures. I don't think that this is exactly the number of living creatures of this world. Many of these goblins and many of these humans have died. Anyway, we have 6 dwarven civilization. One civilization already fell. It already fell. Hello, Lexiville. I looked at this civilization. It lived shortly here in this area. It fell to, I think, goblins. Yes. As can we see? It's not important. It was a minor civilization. It fell before it could really grow. So we have 6 surviving civilizations. The smallest of them is the Craft of Mouths, being exactly here in this world. Only about 600 dwarves, not even 600, like 500 living dwarves. Then it would be interesting to play. I'll show you the overall setting here. I've been studying this, the history and legends of this world yesterday, a couple of hours, and I saw that none of the dwarven civilizations is really at war with anybody. The only dwarven civilization, obviously, actually there were 2. One was this fallen one, which is now ruins. These ruins and these dwarven cities are now taken over by goblins and humans. The other dwarven civilization who had ever any war was this one. They call themselves the Quake of Counselors. They had a war with the elves, elven civilization, the Zephyr of Fealty. Yet they made peace after the elves attacked dwarven site multiple times. They just signed peace treaty and are no longer haven't been attacking each other for about 100 years. So the most battles going on is between the humans and the elves here, which is just a little bit. Humans and the elves here are in some sort of conflict. There is a massive war here raging on. This is a battle-scarred country or battle-scarred land between humans and goblins. There have been thousands of deaths already. It's like the war hotspot on this map. What's the name of this world viewer program, you are asking? It's the Legends viewer. It comes with the Peridex's Errant starter pack. Yes, so we can actually see it as overlay. If you turn on battles, you can see where the most battles are raging. That's actually the normal battles. If you look the notable battles, then you have the heat map actually here, and it's between goblins and humans. The dwarves, okay, you can see the fallen dwarven civilization taken over by goblins, but that's where the action is, and the action is also here between humans and elves. But the dwarves are completely unaffected by this. They live their own life here in this complex network of diplomatic and political relationships. And they are thriving. We have 2 or 3 thriving dwarven civilization, or 2 actually. The Finder's Road of Lions is one, and the Tome of Closing is the other. Okay, so, and it looks like the dwarves are expanding here massively and quickly. They are spreading to the north and to the south pole, where they coexist with humans without any battles and interferences. This is a young world. The history is about 200, not about, but exactly 250 years. And it seems like the cradles of mankind are this continent, and there is lots of going on here. Some goblins in the north here have their own troubles. They have lots of battles, but it's battles with mega beasts and semi-mega beasts. The kobolds, we have a couple of civilizations with kobolds. They are living their own still life, really not having any major losses. They just live in the background, doing their thief stuff. We have the elves are not so strong in this world. If you remember the world stats, the elves here are almost nowhere to be seen. Look at this. We have only 1450 historical elves figures. It's even less than kobolds. Kobolds have 2000 historical figures. Elves only 1450. So elves are the endangered species here, if you want. So what's the name of the graphic overlay? Oh no, this is just the program Legends viewer, and you can have an overlay here. Well, basically you can turn off and on civilizations and sites. Why, I don't know why we still have the craft of mouths shown. Yep, civilizations, sites. You can see battles, where the battles occurred. And you can have an overlay on and off, an overlay for battles, for notable battles, battle deaths, where did the most people die, and you can actually see here the war with humans and goblins here had its greatest toll here. Beast attacks. Where did beast attack occur? So yes, the North Pole, the goblins. There are 2 goblin civilizations here, the incidental ticks and the seduction of dripping. They have their troubles with Yeti. If we turn on the sights, we can see that there is one Yeti here, one giant polar bear, Yeti, some polar bears. And if we look deeper into legends, we can see that the Yeti actually attacked this goblins multiple times, and some wolves. Yeah. Then we have other mega beasts here. We even have a plump helmet men. Kobolds, living with the kobolds here. Volcano here in the ocean. Yeah, okay. So what was I going to say? Yes, the history. If we look at the expanding of the civilizations, yeah, then we can see that it started all here, Actually, we can go even back, and this was the first year of the history, second, third, and it grows and grows and grows. If we proceed, I will proceed in 10-year steps now. So the civilizations grow, network grows, and this is where we are now. So I was thinking, I was looking into the history of these dwarves, because they live in peace here. Well, peace, there's a necromancer tower here. They live here. Two dwarven civilizations coexist here with the humans without any wars and conflicts. It basically is like this Landnahmezeit, where every nation tries to spread and conquer as much land as possible, colonize land, and spread as much as possible. So these dwarves are doing pretty fine. They will eventually, hopefully, spread over this. This dwarven civilization has a little bit of trouble. They are so small, because when I looked into the history, I saw that a dragon is raging here. He is actually residing in this site, I believe. Yes, Helm Springs. Helm Springs was one of the cities of these dwarves, and a dragon attacked it and ruined it, and is now residing here. So they have their troubles with the dragon. There's another dragon here somewhere. Saw it here. Here. There is one dragon in this layer. This is actually a good setting, where you have all of the civilizations. You've got goblins, you've got humans, you've got dwarves, kobolds, elves. You've got even elves. So all the major races are here, and even a dragon. But I decided not to play this dwarven civilization quake of counselors, because what do you really want to do here? I mean, the humans are warring the goblins and elves. The dwarves live here unaffected by it. Do you want to really start a war with any of these civilizations in this enclave? I mean, you're surrounded by them, and they outnumber you, except maybe for the elves and kobolds. Just live your still life here and try to be a good trade partner. So, but this, then I was thinking, okay, this dwarven civilization is a little bit neglected, right? It only has 500 living dwarves, problems with the dragon. We could play this, maybe kill the dragon and make another colony here in these mountains. And if we establish colony or an outpost somewhere here in the south of this mountain range, it would be good, because we need a control point. Most of the action will happen in this area of the map. There will be major trade routes through this world, where opposite continents will trade with each other, and whoever controls this land controls the trade, controls the world trade. So it would be good if these dwarves would rise to a bigger nation, so we could play them, yes. Also was looking at these two dwarven nations. They have the best opportunity. I don't know why it didn't happen for 100 years now. They have the best opportunity to colonize all this land. I mean, this all is... Nobody wants it. They are here on their own. The humans, well, they are a coastal nation here a little bit. They can take all the mountains here. They can settle all over the place here. There is a little something iffy in their history. I have looked in the legends of this nation, Net of Lightning. They had some troubles with night creatures in the royal line, in the lineage. If you look at their kings, so this Ral somehow was unlucky and got killed by a forgotten beast. Okay, in the year 3. But the next king, okay, the next king died of old age. Okay. Then his descendant married a night creature. You can actually see here, dwarf turned night creature. She was born in -51 and struck down by another dwarf. And they had a descendant who was king, and even them had some night creatures, if I remember, struck down by dragon. So there's been history of night creatures here. I looked at it. There were years. There were years where the dwarves seemed to become aware of the night creatures and started some sort of a raid and killed many of them in a single year. But I think the night creatures in this nation are still a thing and live on. And then there is another nation, Sculpted Lancers. They don't have night creatures, but when I looked at the population map, there is a thing like dwarven outcasts. You can look where the most dwarven outcasts live. Right, you have 1 and 2 here and there, dwarven outcasts. I don't exactly know what has to happen in order for a dwarf to be outcasted, but I happened to notice that the Net of Lightning and the Sculpted Lancers have the most dwarven outcasts. I don't know why it is that. Is it because of the night creatures? I also saw, when I looked into the history of individual dwarves, that there are in fact some dwarves who've been abducted by goblins, grew up in a fortress in dark pits somewhere. I can't see it now. One of these goblin sites is actually a dark pit with thousands and thousands of goblins. They were abducted and grew up there and learned how to be thieves and started roaming these lands and killing dwarves and stealing their property. So they were somehow, maybe it's how the criminality arose here. So there are some dwarven outcasts. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. Maybe it's even a good thing. So I was thinking, if we play one of these two nations, then we would have a lot of migrants, because all these outcasts have nowhere to go, they have nowhere to live. They've been outcast from their own cities, so they would come to settle. So I figured the best thing would be, an option would be to play either the Sculpted Lancers or the Net of Lightning and start a colony where, of course, somewhere here. I was thinking somewhere here, because you need to strengthen really the outposts around this area. The goblin fortresses, all these green ones, are spreading. It looks like the goblins would take over this land, and that's not what we want, is it? So if these two nations have a series of outposts here, if this nation rises and settles in these mountains and these mountains, if this nation moves forward and settles here and here, so if dwarves control this area, dwarves will really be strong. Of course, we'll probably never get to play this world so far as when the dwarves will conquer this, but it would be the move. I mean, the most useful move would probably be either Net of Lightning or Sculpted Lancers to have an outpost right here in this, across this desert, in this mountain range, in this wood or whatever it is, so that they can defend a little bit against these goblins. Well, look at the humans are already expanding here. They took a boat and started a fortress here. They will settle all over this land. So we want to keep them constrained to their continents and control this landmass, this central landmass. So yeah, and then I looked at side populations. I looked where the dragons are in this world. I've never really fought a dragon in the fortress yet. So we've got 5 dragons in this world. I've showed you 2 of them. One is the here in this poor nation Craft of Mouths, where he conquered the site Helm Springs. Another dragon is here where the humans are, the Silky Nations. I don't think that he's conquered their site yet. He just happened to have a layer on the same map square as the human city is. And the human city is it's a hamlet of 107 humans. So it seems like okay. But there are 3 dragons right here. So maybe that is the reason why the dwarves did not really settle here. But no, actually, if they would have tried, we would see some ruins. But there are not even ruins here. The dwarves never really set foot here in these lands. Yeah, there is a hill titan. There's a rock here, and swamp titan. Yeah, there are pretty decent mega beasts here. Moon horrors. I don't know what a moon horror is. Gloom freak. And we have. I saw the one or another bronze colossus. You can see here. We've got 5 bronze colossuses. Yeah, 2 of them here, 1 here, and South Pole. Oh, it's not exactly South. Let's call this Australia. There are kobolds and the bronze colossus and the North Pole. Yeah, with the goblins. You see, that's why we saw so much battles and deaths with this goblin nation. They are fighting their own mega beasts there. Not their own, but they don't need other enemies than mega beasts. They have enough troubles with the mega beasts as far as it is. So yes, that's basically it. So my plan number 1 is to take one of these 2 nations and make an outpost here. To have a fortress to defend against the spreading goblins here. We will never probably get rid of the goblins, because the goblins, they have a massive fortress. They have a fortress here with about 6,000 goblins, and a dark fortress here which over 10,000 goblins. That's pretty much infinite number. I don't know how to get rid of these fortresses. It will probably never happen in fortress mode. I don't know. We would have to play an adventurer and get rid of it ourselves, but it's not going to happen. 10,000 goblins. You have to kill their leader or something. I don't know how you get rid of these dark fortresses. I've read the wiki article about dark fortresses. It's probably a site you should forget about. Just live with it. Anyway, so let's play this. Let's choose either a net of lightning or sculpted. Let's choose net of lightning. Let's choose the one which had problems with night creatures. We can actually see, yeah, the net of lightnings have a new king. He's a farmer, currently something over 100 years old. I was looking also at what is the normal age. At what age do dwarves die of old age? And it seems to be somewhere around 160 years, 150, 160 years is the normal life expectation of a dwarf. So this dwarf became king only recently. He is about 140 years old. This nation has a very old king. This king is already 145 years old, so he will live for another 20, 25 years at most. Yeah, I don't know. This is his genealogical lineage. Professional, accomplished comedian. He's a comedian. And so on. Yeah, we can... I'll keep this open in case we encounter some of these guys in Fortress mode, if they come visit or have diplomatic relationships, or we hear news from our mountain homes and they talk about a person, so we can keep this open and look the person up here. Yeah, so interesting little world, lots of things going on here, a very young world historically. Most of the land is still uninhabited, and there are lots of opportunities here. All of this, lots of mega beasts, because it's such a young world. Most of the mega beasts are still alive. Barbarix is here. Hello, hello. Lebensraumerweiterung. Yeah, Landnahmezeit, actually. Okay, so shall we start? Start playing. What is this world called anyway? It's Mon Sagus, the Plain of Dawning. Okay, Plain of Dawning. I was also thinking maybe I should, before I start a fortress, maybe I should play an adventurer in one of these nations and see what the world's about. But yeah. Oh, of course you can't see it. I'm currently advancing 14 days of history. Wow. And the game actually suggests this site right in the north, right at the border of the North Pole, where the goblins are fighting the mega beasts. Here we would have an aquifer. Yeah, which we could dig around. Temperate weather. Lacy Balls is the brook. Yeah, what dwarven nation would possibly be interested in settling here? We only would have dwarves and goblins. Ah, the Quake of Counselors, this dwarven nation. Strange. Yeah, they see that they are. It's the nation which is an enclave here, surrounded by humans and elves and goblins, kobolds, and a dragon. They seek a new outpost here. Well, it's an interesting suggestion. Would probably be a fun site to play. Low elevation, high cliffs or medium cliffs, water, trees, aquifer. Aquifer promises actually interesting resources, you know. Where there is aquifer, there is often sediment like iron ores and stuff, precious metals. It's tempting, but my plan was to put one of these dwarven nations, cross the desert and settle over here. We would take Net of Lightning or Sculpted Lancers. Yeah, we need to so we have relative elevation low, cliffs medium to none, except for here. We've got some high cliffs here. This would be where the river exits the mountains. High cliffs. What sort of biomes would we have? We have shallow metal, deep metal, flux stone, untamed wilds, no trees, and scorching hot weather. Wow, May. How about we descend down? There is 2 biomes here. Woodland, some soil. Be at the foot of the mountains here. There is woodland, shallow metal, deep metal, flux stone, little soil. This would be a possible tropical shrubland, possible outpost, or if we go one step further down, shallow metal, deep metal, flux stone, scorching hot, little soil, trees and none. Freshwater marsh, shallow metal, deep metal, flux stone. Scorching hot. Tropical. It's a difficult site, a tropical site. How about here? It's still scorching here. Or we could go even further and take a look at this. Heavily forested, scorching, untamed wilds. Thick vegetation, untamed wilds. Shallow metal, deep metal, flux stone. Aquifer. We even have an aquifer here. Woodland. Shallow metal, deep metal, flux stone. We've got 4 biomes here. Look at this. Whoa, 4 biomes on 9 tiles. Aquifer here. We've got aquifer here and aquifer here. So these, the lower 3 and the mid right one has aquifer. This is a swamp. This is a marsh. Deep soil, they have deep metal, flux stone. This one's got shallow metal, deep metal, flux stone. And last one is aquifer as well here. Wow. Surrounded by aquifers. Deep soil. Well, let's pick this position. It's tropical, scorching, but we have woodland, we have no trees here. So we have, where are trees? So there are no trees here. Woodland here, woodland here, and heavily forested here. Yeah, that looks interesting. Good morning, Linus. So I've never had that. 4 biomes on 9 tiles. We've got 5 of the 9 tiles is aquifer. Untamed wilds. We would have, of course, goblins and humans. Humans as friends, goblins as enemies. Let's be net of lightning. Low elevation. Oh, look at the cliffs. We have high cliffs. And high cliffs to the... Wow, that's a promising thing here. Yeah, let's pick this site. The Merc of Lancers is the site. Well, shouldn't we then take the Sculpted Lancers as civilization? We can take Sculpted Lancers. This civilization instead. Sculpted Lancers. They go to Merc of Lancers. Freshwater swamp. Mountains. And marshes. Wow. We want it all, right? And don't forget there are 3 dragons here in this desert and mountains. So if our site grows strong, we may actually attract the attention of ideally all 3 of these dragons and kill them. We'll be at war with goblins, and I'm not sure about humans. I would like to stay in peace with humans. But there is Goblin Dark Fortress right here. Right over the river, but we need a dwarven outpost to face the goblin force coming from the south here. Okay, so that is what the dwarven king. If we are Sculpted Lancers now, let me quickly check who was the king of Sculpted Lancers. So we have picked Sculpted Lancers as nations. Our first king died in the year 1, struck by forgotten beasts, phantom hearts, sin of ashes. Yeah, then we had another king. Did he have any offspring? No. Mebzuth was the other king, killed by forgotten beast, Tabmik, Merc Fates, the pulpy molds. Yeah. Okay, then we had third king, Rigoth, forgotten beast, Tabmik, pulpy molds, kinged this king. No offspring. Thickwood wandered channeled, has offspring, died of old age. He's got four children. Oh, the human Radi is his master. Female human died of old age. How come this human is master of our king? Is our king a puppet? Like, just, I mean, politically, like, does he have to answer to human? Don't know. Anyway, the current king has no master. King of sculpted lances, fishery worker, Ezum, rub labor. He's got no children. He wants to be immortal. It's a bit dangerous. I fear he may become a night creature or a vampire if he wants to be immortal. He might get into that sort of stuff. But anyway, yeah. So Ezum, rub labor. What are our starting sites? This is the worships we worship. Oh, there is lots of sites. Flesh rope destroyed. Orbs yawned. Relief net, shield roar, cobalt quest. Book snakes. Destroyed. Trumpet Earthen is probably the biggest fortress. Wise lances, Wade tombs, and Trumpet Earthen. Okay, Trumpet Earthen. Yeah, that's probably our capital. Okay, so let's create this outpost. Embark. Untamed wilds. Aquifer. Prepare carefully. So how do we want to prepare? 400 points. Do we have iron anvil? Okay. I might actually keep the anvil this time. Very strong and quick to heal. Strong. Incredibly tough. So very strong and quick to heal will be our axe dwarf. And also yeah, what will he do? He will be the axe dwarf and teacher. What else should he be? Bone carver. This guy is strong, slow to heal, great feel for surrounding space and good intuition. He will be our Marks dwarf. And probably appraiser, concentration, negotiator. Okay, this guy, incredibly tough, will be our next. Will be our. We have an axe dwarf. We have a crossbow dwarf. Let's have a hammerman. Okay, then we need. I'll need 2 miners. I could go with a indefatigable but flimsy. Yeah, miner. Quick to heal, quick to tire. Miner. Yeah, we will take miner. As well here. We will need a grower and bowyer. Yeah, we will need a bowyer. The bowyer also. Do we have a carpenter? We have a carpenter. Bowyer. And we will need a mason. And a grower. Mason and grower. No, I don't like that. Mason would. Bone carver is okay. It's our axeman. Mason. Mason, and I will make him also a metalsmith or a weaponsmith. Weaponsmith. We'll need to craft bolts. Bolts. And now we still need a grower, right? We don't have anybody who can grow plants. Grower. One of our miners will also be a cook and a brewer. Okay, so Elizabeth is here. Hello. Come back from the bath at the perfect time, though a bit late for my taste of perfect time. Yeah, I also wanted to start an hour earlier today. I was just too lazy. So we need 2 copper picks. We can have 2 battle axes, 1 anvil, some drinks, spawns. Yeah, we will boost up our initial farms. Kidney, prepared food, quivers, buckets, splints and crutches, however, can be made. Wheelbarrow, don't need. Step ladder, don't need. We will rather take with us leather. We'll craft leather armor. Which reminds me, we should actually take a leather crafter. Yak leather. We need about 5 to 10. Take about 15. We take 20 yak leather. Somebody has to be a leather crafter or a leather armor maker, leather worker. Let's take one of our carpenter, bowyer. Yeah, he can make a good leather worker for the moment. Yak leather. Let's take more leather for some armor. Ropes, quivers. You've got pigtail thread. We can. Yeah. We need a couple of cats. And then we have few more points for let's have ducks. Or geese. And let's take 5 more leathers. Okay. Actually, how about we take bolts, copper bolts. It's not really worth it, is it? No. Crossbow. We have a bowyer. We can make crossbow. Yeah, let's take leather. Okay. So this is a unique embark for me. I have never taken leather with me. Leather worker at the start. And 3 fighters. I've got 3 fighters, 2 miners. Interesting. I don't know how this will play, but I intend to They have a strong military from the very beginning. Alright, let's embark then. You have arrived after a journey from the mountain homes into the forbidding wilderness beyond. Your harsh trek has finally ended. Your party of 7 is to make an outpost for the glory of all Arankivish. There are almost no supplies left, but with stout labor comes sustenance, whether by bolt, plough or hook. Provide for your dwarves. You are expecting a supply caravan before winter entombs you, but it is spring now, enough time to delve secure lodgings ere the tigress. Get hungry. Did I take an animal trainer? Tigress. A new chapter of Dwarven history begins here, at this place. Mam Gozlolok, Dragongranite. What a site name! Yeah, it's New World. So we have 3 dragons around us, 3 dragons around the site, and the site is called Dragongranite. Wow, that's a great site name. Ooh, I must not give up. Okay. Dragongranite, here we come. Saving. Be saved now. Okay. So as far as I remember, this is the biome where there is aquifer, and then there is aquifer here. So pieces without aquifer are, I think it's this green piece is without aquifer. This should be without aquifer as well. This is this high cliff. So what sort of materials do we see? Actually, first, what sort of wildlife we see? No wildlife at the moment. We see claystone, limestone. That limestone is flux. Clay loam. That's good. It's these marshlands and swamps. So we have deep soil. What is this green thing? Malachite. Bandfire opal. Okay. Sawgrass. Malachite. Malachite is no ore in Dwarf Fortress. Well, yes. Okay, we've got ponds, which we will use for farms. That's good. We've got a brook. Most of the riches will probably be under the thick soil layer. What's this? Sand? Loamy sand, glass industry, here we come. Okay, malachite. I'll need to look up malachite in the Dwarf Fortress wiki, but I doubt that it's usable ore. Oh, one of the several ores of copper. Malachite is a ore of copper. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, where there is copper, there is no iron. Whatever. We'll have copper industry, that's not so bad. What options in the generator getting at that at the surface? Malachite at the surface? Well, no, standard. I used this my standard medium ones. You know what I realized? I was thinking about, Elizabeth. I was thinking about your settings where you say you like large worlds, high savagery, lots of mega beasts, rare things. There is something about the long history. I read that, or I gather that if you have a world with a long history, in the course of the history, most of these mega beasts die. So if you want thriving mega beast life in a world, make the history short. Make it 125 or 250 years. Most of the mega beasts who were alive when the world is created will still be alive by then. I've had a little introduction of this world, looking at it in Legends Viewer. It is a world historically quite young, only 250 years of history, and most of our mega beasts are still alive. We've got 5 dragons, 5 bronze colossuses. So if you want challenging things, do not have a long history. You will have more. You'll have a wilder underworld. Especially if you have a high number of civilizations, then every civilization will get their shot at killing mega beasts. But anyway, I mean, your worlds are even like you do them are much more challenging than what I play here. Marius says, why not use the prospect DF to see what ores your site has? It would be a little bit spoilerish, wouldn't it? Prospect, as far as I understand, Prospect does not reveal it. It just tells you, okay, there is 1% gold, 1% aluminum, 10% malachite, stuff like that, right? Yeah, still, I don't know. I feel like I'm spoiling the fun discovering it. Yes, so we are at the source of this brook. I'm not exactly sure where the aquifer is, but we'll either dig straight down here or up here, but this is the map edge, so if we dig up here, I'd rather dig straight down, build a fortress around it later on. What's this surface here? It's a pretty high cliff here. Oh, what sort of stone is this? Silt loam, limestone, loam, claystone. Yeah, okay. So I guess, yes, it's not the best spot for steel industry, but we can have glass industry. Certainly can have glass industry, and we can have clay industry. Wow, clay industry. A fortress built of clay bricks. Clay is pretty much fire safe, right? So if a dragon comes and we have our brick fortress, it will not burn down or melt. And I'm expecting a dragon. I'm expecting 3 dragons. Did we get only one yak? No, we've got 2 yak bulls. Good. What is this red thing? Sandy clay loam. Date palm. Lime tree. Guava tree. Guava wine. Durian tree. Papaya. Tropical. Tigers. Coconut. Cashew. Lovely sight. Scorching hot. Scorching hot is dangerous. If you keep your dwarves outside for long, they will not like it. Anyway, I'll take a break of about 15 minutes. This has been a promising embark, or so far. And we will build then